Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Clair Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. No, whatever it's called. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 on an exercise bike. So there's a date there. I better get off this screen because the title music is about 10 times louder than every other piece. It has been a yonk since I played this. It's been about 2 months. In terms of the channel, we have played, in the meantime, Uncharted Waters, Might and Magic VII, Final Fantasy IX, and off the channel I've played Nine Kings, Satisfactory, and even that cursed, ridiculous waifu racing gacha game. So it's been pretty much anything other than Clair Obscur. I was looking through the videos of it. Obviously this is going to come out 2 days after the previous one, which again was another downer on it because the previous one I lost the visuals. I am not particularly interested in playing this, but I thought I'd give it one last shot. It's not looking good for Clair Obscur and for finishing this playthrough, unfortunately. The characters are... I haven't looked up anything, but from what one of my viewers was saying, I think I'm a good way off the expected level for the end game content. I can't even remember the buttons for the game. I'm not really invested in this, and we're in the midst of a pretty rubbish dungeon. So I think what we will probably do is we'll give it this episode, we'll give it a C, and maybe it can pull me back on side. And we might get a few more episodes out of it if it pulls a blinder. With these, if I get the bug again, if not, then it'll be out with a whimper. We're in the Crimson Forest. Ah yes, I remember this. So yeah, this is one of the other reasons why I stopped playing. So I have one of my many little medical problems. I feel like I'm always telling the channel my fucking medical problems. One of my other little ones is something called nyctalopia, which means that I really struggle in dark conditions, particularly if there's other sort of like brighter contrasting light sources. So this immediately puts me in a bad mood. Have we unlocked the boss? I feel like there was one more to unlock. How do we even... Right, okay, fine. What's this? X. Okay, good, right. Right, so I don't even know how we get out, if we can get out. We're not going to be hurtling around anywhere because I can't see. Can I turn this off? No, it's on. No. Yeah, so part of the discussion was like whether or not we'd missed one of those statues early on, which might be affecting things. So yeah. This is a design decision. So now it's dark. Is that a jump? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't see anything. I don't know the way out. Is that an enemy? There's an enemy there and there's a statue, but whether or not that's the statue we want. Can we go up here? Yeah, I can't see. Right. We'll try going down, because like there is a... Oh no, that wasn't the jump. So we went down. It looked like that was where the final sword statue was, but doesn't necessarily tell us how to reach it. Okay. I mean, I just can't see. Okay. Okay. So far so bad. But I think this is... taking us up to that other bit. Right, okay. We've got a save point there. We've got a rope up there. I'm going to save that. Why not? Might as well rest. Thing anyway. We could try and go up there and see if that unlocks the final thing. Is that already been unlocked? Or is that just a fight? You see, the thing is, I'm not sure I care, because if this is going to get dark again, and indeed potentially worse, I think I would rather just bail. Is there a way in which we can leave? Because yeah, this is... it's not my idea of a good time. Was there a way? Not that. Settings. Colorblind mode. No. Yeah, I was just wondering if there's like a map that we could use to escape. So, to talk about the design on this, because I hate this, you've got three things going on here. You've got a map where there is platforming and traversal. You've got limited visibility. And you've got the fact that, like, the entire world of Clair Obscur is made up of these invisible walls everywhere. So even if I could see, like, there's the very real chance that I would come a cropper anyway. So we came up here, did we? I think we're going to have to just plough on and just hope that it gives us something. I don't remember how to dodge or anything, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, hello. Well, it's nice to see you too, but I don't really know if there's much I can do, honestly. Other than some creative falling off. Because I'm not making that jump. Right, okay, well, yeah. Yeah, you better run. Right, okay, well there's a person. Can we jump to them? Right, okay, a fight. Can't remember how this goes. Maelle. Good, okay. Seems fair.
Let the ink flow.
You have an ice stain, very nice. And I don't know what you do, so I think we'll just do paradigm shift. Okay. Cool. Right, well, that's slightly less than enjoyable, but whatever. Can we shoot you a few times? Maybe get some extra burns on? Guess not.
Time to end this.
Sure, why not? Not doing anything else.
Finesse and grace.
Cool.
Finesse and precision.
Alright, brilliant. Unfortunately, that person was our only light source, so let's check, there's nothing behind, no. This looks like it could be the exit. Yeah. Whew. Right. Looking good. It's looking really good. We have not quite done Crimson Forest, but done enough for me. This will give us an opportunity to go and have a look at some other things. Maybe we can get ourselves some sentimental story or whatever. Great, okay. Alright, but we'll never come here again. What's on my post-it note? So Lune wanted to go to Siren's Island. It says Elysia, top of mountain near Monolith. Okay. Right. So first you just need to find the monolith. That's looking suitably monolithic. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Oh right, this is as high as we go, is it? Okay, fine. No, it's not as high as we go. We can go much higher. That's the wrong button. What is this? This is Flying Man of Danger. I don't think I've got any danger in the Oh, maybe we should just go and see. Because sometimes the danger, I mean, is deeply dangerous, and then sometimes it's not very dangerous. Like, honestly, I don't even remember if I've been here. Isn't this part of the... That's one of Clair Obscur's classic. Oh, apparently that bit isn't a invisible wall. So... I mean, it says the feel of somewhere I've been, not because it's in any way memorable, but rather because I'm not seeing any, you know, pictos or whatever the piece things are called. Oh, hello. Oh, there's something.
An advantage.
Protecting shots. Oh, that's quite good, actually. Level 28 as well. Right, okay, very nice. Maelle shoots a bit. I think Lune shoots more, doesn't she? So now we play the roulette of this game. What is... I hate the fucking UI on this. It's fucking awful. Double burn is dead good, but I think we will swap it out for that on the basis of the power it gives us. We will then need to go to Luminous. We'll need to go and edit our Luminous. And what was it called? What was it? Oh god, the UI. Why? Double burn. Right, okay. So double burn costs 30. Okay, that's rather pricier than I anticipated. Greater slow. I don't think we used that particularly. Energizing pain. No, we don't. We definitely do want that. Oh, I can't take a great slow off because she's already got it. We can't get anti-charm. So it's either energizing heal, shed care. I mean, not bad. That is not gonna near enough. What's healing share? 50% of all heals affecting other characters. We could probably lose that. We've just got quite a long way to go before we've got enough points for it, unfortunately. I guess we'll lose Death Bomb, healing share, marking shots is too nice to go. Energizing pain we want. Energizing heal. I think we can probably go without energizing heal. Cleansing tint is useful. What's auto shell? I'm going to lose auto shell and get double burn. I think she's got the extra health now, so the shell shouldn't be as necessary. Okay, cool. Right, well, there we go. It was worth coming here, I think. Should we run up there? Just for shits and giggles. Make sure there's nothing at the edge. There is nothing at the edge. Right, so this has been worthwhile. Oh, hello. That looks like something we can have a fight with, or try to. Is there a way round to it? No, wait, this is not something we fight. This is something we sculpt. As Alicia or whomever. What about you? We must leave, okay. Everything here is just too powerful. Was it a close run thing, was it? Oh, Maestro. Yeah. Right, okay. Well, I mean, that suggests that we are going to be underprepared for this. Let's do it anyway.
This is where she lived.
Okay. I feel like we're going to get caught in a cutscene, but... Okay. Hello. Excuse me one moment. Okay, cool. She's trapped here behind the door in her atelier, forever painting. How do we open the door? Bring back the colour to her paintings. Also creation. Right, okay. Maybe. Or maybe we'll just have a hunt around the edge and see if we can't find any, like, high level luminaires. That mean we don't have to grind blind to pursue this. I'd like to say it's all coming back to me, but it's not. Okay, apparently invisible wall. Fair enough. Okay, well I guess following the colour would seem like a logical thing to do. Again, assuming that we are remotely on level for this. That looks like something worth fighting. Oh, hello. What was it? Yeah. There's one. Any others? In this murky sea. Right, you're coming towards me. How powerful are you? Alright, okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we were not meant to come here. Right, okay. Well, we'll proceed anyway.
Let's carve a path.
Sure. Okay, here we go. Yep, don't remember what button that does. Which makes it even funner. Oh good, there's another one. Oh. Okay.
Careful, Maelle.
Okay.
Incoming. Careful now.
Oh, we go one dodge out of about 15. It's not bad, is it? Right. Do 40 to 60 for 5. I think we'll just do this, to be honest. That's bad.
Let's carve a path.
We know it's not going to do very much, but whatever. No, well they were weak to it, so. Oh, it's a jump one.
Let's spill some ink.
Cool. He might drop anyway, but unfortunately I don't think I've got any choice but to go full pelt.
On me.
Right, watch this. Uh-oh. Damn it. Better.
Watch out, Maelle.
God, I'm brilliant at this game. Okay. Right, so I think that should drop it, but let's not take chances. Cool. You're not on a lot of health, are you?
Finesse and precision.
Careful now.
Okay, I remember this time. It's alright. Look at that.
A storm is coming.
Yes, it is. Right, let's get one more immolate on the guy, and then we'll heal next turn because we like to live dangerously. You might as well do that again. So hopefully do even more damage than it did last time. Nope. I guess we do this. I have a feeling she's going to go down here. I think defense is going to help. Okay. Ready? Fantastic. And now we can do this.
Everybody, let's go.
Ready to strike.
Which is a little later in the day, but still. You go back into your virtuoso stance.
Ready to evade.
Cool.
Let us stay.
Very good. Actually made this look relatively easy, which it definitely wasn't.
Ready to parry. Yeah.
Right, okay, and then this should be this. Oh, maybe it won't. Oh, it's broken. Just... Oh shit, I should have healed him again. And we got Ramasan. Not that we're going to use it. Did anyone go up a level? Oh yes, looks like 2 of them went up levels. So that's good, isn't it? Oh, we didn't get a new weapon. We got an upgrade to an existing weapon. My mistake. Okay. Do. Let's be a little bit cautious. Okay, so we had one just above. Where are the others? One over there. And then, where is the other one? Can I smash that? Did I imagine that? It's not that, it's that. Oh, okay. That's fairly easy. Would you look at that? Energizing stun. +1 AP on hitting a stun target with the skill. That is not quite functionally useless, but it's pretty bad. What have you got? What is healing fire? Oh, I mean, I do like healing fire, but energizing stun is just gonna, yeah. Right, sorry Versa. Let's let you back in on that. Cool. Right, so we could take on that thing. See, it feels like a bad idea. Well, we could take on those things. And we take on this thing. Right. Okay, so... Oh, okay, that was pretty good. Right, you... I think we just kind of have to shoot these things. Oh. No, it's not. They're not shooting things, are they? Right, why don't we tank down that one? Okay. Okay, well, that's fine. Can you perhaps paradigm shift on this one? Okay. No, it's not that one. Right, okay, great.
I'm ready.
Oh, fuck. I'm not listening for next time. Okay, and I thought the timing was pretty good, but the game disagreed. Ouch. Right. Well, why not? Yeah, well, it will hurt, unfortunately. I think you 30, 40. Okay, I think we actually do that on you. fine. Oh, you haven't got many points, have you? Right.
Please survive.
No, don't heal your allies, please. Oh, you fucking bastard.
I'm ready.
Right, well, I guess then we're taking the others. Verso, can you... That's actually going to be really fucking nasty, that. Yeah, this could be a significant problem for us. 4 AP if target is burning, well it is. Okay, very nice. Did I hit him? Yes, okay.
Careful, Maelle.
Okay, down there goes him. Right, okay.
Careful, Maelle.
Careful, Maelle. Bang, straight down. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Right, okay. I guess we rebirth Verso.
Here.
Okay. And this time we dodge. Verso! Do your stupid Phantom Stars thing again, even though it didn't do much last time. I say it didn't do much. It did something. Very nice. Okay.
Careful.
Okay, pretty sure I dodged that, but whatever.
Hurts.
Time we're on with 38. Come on then, Shark. We'll push on with this game just a little further. Right, I'm going to have to risk it all, I think, on this because, like, otherwise we're just not going to get it. So I'm going to have to try and parry, or else we're just. Yeah, because otherwise this is just going to happen.
Incoming.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't parry. It's the jump on that. That one was on me. I completely just cocked that up. Right. Well, there's not really much. I suppose we could gradient attack, couldn't we? Sabotage. Angelizes to. No. I think we'll wait on the other one. Even though he's probably not going to get it. Yeah, if you revive Lune, and then we'll just. Oh, I mean, I did that. That one I am complaining about. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, rebirth. Yeah, whatever.
Brilliant light.
Here she comes.
The expedition's not over.
Right, he technically is that. Is he burning? No. Neither him. And we have to take out the edge ones. So oh yeah, of course he's absorbing it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, in that case, there's no real option. We have to do that. Yeah, and yeah. Well, I mean, we've come in at a high level. I'm not necessarily complaining on this. I feel like I'm missing something, but yeah. I've just padded down, by the way. Let's do this. Yeah. I don't care. It. It's. We'll try and go back and see. No, I don't want to retry the battle. Like, I'm not blaming the game over that fight. I think that fight seems pretty reasonable. I'm just out of practice, you know, and I'm out of the I'm out of the sort of know-how and intensity to be winning those fights, but also I'm kind of sick of many elements of this. One thing I am like thoroughly fed up with, it just makes me not want to play anymore. Just looking at that screen, like maybe it comes through better on YouTube. Maybe sometimes, like I noticed when I was watching one of my followers on here. Is that what they call them? Followers? Subscribers. I watched them play Bloodborne, and like when you're watching Bloodborne on a TV where it's being played, like you get so much more sense of depth than you get in watching it on YouTube. Like YouTube has kind of like a flattening effect somehow, and it might be for this that you're looking at that screen and you're like, well, it's obvious, like that's that just looks like a fucking mess to me. The Vaseline fog has just got on my nerves too much. Yeah. I think I'm done. And like I know it kind of feels bad with you know, we did the Final Fantasy IX playthrough, and that playthrough obviously was if you haven't seen it, it's characterized by a lot of salt. I get very frustrated. I think I get more frustrated, or I got more frustrated with Final Fantasy IX than I did with Clair Obscur. But somehow I was also slightly more invested in Final Fantasy IX. I don't know. I felt a sort of an attachment on some level to the characters, whereas the plot with this, I mean, it just feels meaningless to me. I mean, you know, obviously different strokes, different folks, but like I don't. So like, what are we doing right now? We're fighting to stop Alicia from leaving the painted world or something. But these, like, the characters within are basically just concepts written up. You know, like this sort of death by postmodernism, like plot, I don't particularly care. Like it feels like it's not exactly. I mean, it's not like fourth wall breaking, but it has that feel. It, from a plot perspective, the game it reminds me of. This is going to be a really niche one. There was a game that David Bowie was partially created, and maybe we'll take a look on it at the channel just as a look-see, called The Nomad Soul. It was like a late 90s game. It was a it was a very like sort of bold game. Had a few component parts, part platformer, part first-person shooter, part one-on-one fighting game, massively like an open-world RPG, and it didn't really do any one of its things well enough to justify its gameplay. So, but it reminded me of this because it had a lot of like sort of communicating with you as the player rather than the character that you're playing. The character you were playing in that game is, right from the off, is established as an avatar of you, which it just felt rather redundant, and rather redundant and also quite immersion breaking. Like the game was quick to remind me of myself. And yet, Clair Obscur, it's almost like the inverse of that, with much the same effect. That the characters aren't real within their own world, so why should I care about them? It feels like, to put it in sort of like a Morrowind, I assume Skyrim's the same with this sense. It's not about caring about the characters in the world, it's like caring about the books in the world. I want to save the books. I just, and like I don't even really understand. I mean, obviously it's been months since I played it, but like, who is this person that's in front of us? Like, I mean, and I know I'm holding myself up to, like, I'm gonna have people who really strongly disagree with me on this. I don't imagine anybody at this point who is a massive fan of the game has got this far with the Let's Play, because most people who are as enthusiastic of that can't bear the level of salt and shade that's already been thrown at it. But I know I'm going to face criticism that, like, it's not the game's fault if I'm not bright enough to understand these complex things. It's like, I don't think they are that complex. I think they're just like thrown together rather haphazardly. And just unnecessarily as well. Like, because they had such a strong what if, like as in the what if as you're playing it in Act 1, like that concept of the monolith, and then like all these people, and then like it all just sort of collapses in on itself in this awkward, like, alternate reality, like fantasy within its own world, meaning. I don't. I was talking about a while ago on the little video I did called "The Curse of the RPG Endgame." That like you have to be careful about having U-turns with your world logic. You know, I mean. And I think Clair Obscur is a really, really bad offender for that. Like, Act 1 and most of Act 2 doesn't matter. You know, it might, for all the world and the impact it had, it might as well have not occurred. I don't think that's a good way to keep people engaged. You know, I mean, obviously the Tim Kaine thing will come in and he'll say, as he has become very fond of doing in his later career. I don't know if he said it so much in his early career, which might have been the difference, but like. You know, people like different things, and someone will really, really, really like this story. The question for the channel, in terms of like the game design questions on it, is could this have attained a more beloved status than it has if there had been changes? And that's kind of our metric on it, or my metric on it, is like not directly what could sell more games, you know, although the two often go hand in hand, but like what will be popular for many but extremely popular for its you know, the target demographic. You know, like going back to the Fallout example, Fallout is, I think, one of the most valuable IPs in the world now. And this all happens. Like, none of this happens if, like, Tim Kaine sets out to make a Fallout game for Fallout 1 with mass appeal. You know, it happens because he knew his target demographic and he went in and he made a belter for that target demographic. You know, and that's how, you know, that's the success that everything else has been built on. I'll do a separate video on this, putting Clair Obscur in the tier list, because the tier lists have become a little bit, that's the word I'm looking for. Because of the nature of the extra videos that we put in last summer for New Horizons and Might and Magic 7, the timing of some of it is a bit off. So some of the games I think I do the tier list retrospectives for Three Houses and Final Fantasy IX before I've done, at least chronologically and as they're recorded, before I've done the ones for Might and Magic 7 and New Horizons, like the retrospectives on that. But we'll do one on here. I'm going to come off the exercise bike. And yeah, we'll have a think about it. I guess the summary in this, if you prefer to watch it as part of this, it's not been awful. You know, I've played some RPGs, some games of late, that I really didn't think were that good. I think Clair Obscur does a lot of things right. Sorry, I'm probably peaking a bit there, aren't I? Get a bit closer to the microphone. Yeah, it does a lot of things right, but it does a lot more things wrong. Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's not quite the way to put it. It's not that it does more things wrong. It's that, like, it's got a lot of things like looking at that screen again, like the Vaseline fog, right? When everything's going right, the Vaseline fog is a dreamlike state that's like part of this sort of weird world, and you know, that's fine. It's the Vaseline fog. When it's getting on my nerves, it's just like I can't see properly. Like and I just, like, the other thing as well that, like, I really, if you're doing a game with jump, sprint, and grappling hook, you got to think really carefully about what you're doing with your invisible walls. Like, really carefully. Because, like, in a game with a traversal mechanic, you do not ever want to have ambiguous traversal. And I think with this, I mean, I just think that just don't have the jump button, which is, if anything, and this kind of comes into the other sort of general, like, Ubisoftism or the modernism of a lot of gaming and what's the standards that are expected. This camera angle that we have Maelle at, or Alicia, or whoever she is, that has become like kind of like an industry standard. If you did like a distant sort of top-down one, sort of closer to Final Fantasy IX or something of that ilk, I think a lot of people would be turned off by that. Not necessarily people who are fans of the genre, but a lot of people who aren't. A lot of people who play, your standard, the games they have will be the best selling games of that year. Your God of Wars, your Uncharted, not the one I played about pirating, but is it Nathan Drake? Is that his name? That sort of thing. So it almost feels like there's an obligation to have this sort of movement mechanic, and then once you're in this, it would be weird not to have a sprint button, and then once you've got that, it would be weird not to have a jump button. It would feel off for the sort of game that this camera angle implies. But the problem is that when you've started to put those two things in, you're making it one way or another a traversal game. And traversal's like, it's not hard to manage, but you just have to put clearly identifiable walls around. And Clair Obscur is just incredibly inconsistent with that. And it's like really clearly defined walls and like an interior setting doesn't align with the artistic vision of the world. Now I think that something like Final Fantasy IX, which, as I say, well, I mentioned it because I covered it on the channel. Like Final Fantasy IX's got like invisible walls left, right, and centre, and sometimes it's got one or two very annoying ones. But they're not. It doesn't feel very often like you should be able to get to those areas. You know, as I've said it before as part of this playthrough, like the invisible wall has got a long and storied relationship with the RPG genre in a great many games. Even you don't see him too often, but like Fallout and Baldur's Gate have got a few. You know, that they're there in that. You just have to be a little bit careful about how you navigate it. No pun intended. I think the way the characters have bounced around in terms of the acts, making each act be about a character, is risky. I don't think it's like inherently cursed, but it's it's a dangerous game, because I'm actually looking at it in terms of I guess that was just the swallowing creature. Like with I think it's fine to kind of do that with Gustav and then, you know, kill him off. Like I think that makes a lot of sense. But I do think when you've got an established backstory, like the story is about Maelle, Lune, Gustav and his students, although, you know, obviously he's dead, and I think Shiel just ends up being quite a peripheral character on this, but like, yeah, Shiel. To then say that the next chapter is about this person you've just sort of met, who's like obviously keeping secrets from you. It's like sorry, who's my protagonist? Like, who am I exploring this through? I think that maybe that could have been handled better. I think fine to have it be about Verso, but the way he kind of defaults into this the player character, I'm not so sure on that. And also, like, from a story writing perspective, you know, like, what do we gain by saying this acts about this character, this acts about this character, this acts about this character. Like, wouldn't it be more organic to just, let the story define who it's about? Maybe not say this is all about, verso. Like, maybe like you, as the players playing, it's like who is the main person in this? I think as well, like it, for all I've been calling this a JRPG, and that's what it feels like it is to me. Like that, I get very strong PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy vibes off this. Although, as I say, it does some things much better. But considering that is like seemingly a clear inspiration for it, like, I really don't like the way that your relationship and like the characters are explored through camp conversations. I think that is the expression I'd use for that is like, it feels cheap and nasty. Like it's just like that is just weak. That and like integrate them into the narrative. But it doesn't feel like particularly with Lune and Ciel, and I guess you could argue Monoko, although he doesn't really feel like much of a character. Like, they just don't seem to really exist in the main story. There's like maybe that bit when they're fighting like the masked Aeon or whatever it was, like, but it's just so fleeting that I feel, and like also like just don't try and set up emotional character stories and then immediately follow it with a numeric assessment of your relationship. You've gone up at a relationship level. Like, just don't do that. I don't care what your writing level is like. You're better than that. That's just like, it just cheapens anything that you were going for. I think like even something as like kind of trite as Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like, when you go up support levels, at least it has the, it doesn't slam the "you have reached support level S" with, like, after you've done it. At least it tries to make it feel like an organic piece of character, character building. And if you absolutely must separate and segregate your character interactions into a camp setting, I mean like the campsite setting, like, if you've got to do that, and I really don't understand why that's somehow become the norm, because I think it's really bad. Like, and that's been going on for years. I mean, like Dragon Age Origins started that, and we still haven't recovered. Baldur's Gate 3 did it, which seemed completely unnecessary. If you absolutely feel that you have no choice but to do that and to segregate it, find some way of making sure you don't have to do them all at once. Because it's the easiest way in the world to make all of the interactions lose their emphasis, and quite frankly, you run the risk, and Clair Obscur gets this, of just making them feel like work. if you've just got to do like grinding through the character stories, it's like don't you know. And this next one, like, it's not necessarily like a major pop at Clair Obscur, but like going back to that Final Fantasy VII storytelling video that I did, I felt like the tutorial, like, was okay with this. The tutorial had a lot, quite a few good ideas in terms, not great ideas. It wasn't like breathtaking screenplay, but it felt like there was something that the camera was perhaps doing a little bit with that. Like, pretty much after they arrive on the first island and get wiped out by Renoir, whatever his name was, like after that, like, the camera's just it's just doing like meaningless action shot stuff. It doesn't say anything. There's no. I don't feel like either the three things on it. I mean, like, maybe we talked about in Final Fantasy VII, like the pillars of that storytelling being like short, punchy dialogue, genuine cinematography, and like musical integration with the emotions of the scene, or musical integration with the narrative. And like, I don't mind Clair Obscur's dialogue most of the time. As I say, once if you take him out of the plot, out of the camp bits, which do just go on a bit too long, most of the day-to-day dialogue in it, or sort of scene to scene, is relatively. It's not. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is like incredibly tight. Like, Final Fantasy VII doesn't waste a damn word in its, like, certainly in its, like, its opening hour. Arguably not in the whole thing. Clair Obscur's not that tight, but it's also not rambling. It's not Final Fantasy IX, in terms of the cinematography, I mean, it's just, it's barely there. And then in terms of the music, and I'm probably, this is one where I might not see eye to eye with, I know, like, at least one of my subscribers really likes the music. I think it's okay. I think it's I personally don't think, for all the theming of it, and for all the it's okay. I'm not gonna. I mean, some of that is clearly a choice issue, and just as I like the, like the I forget what is it, Belle Epoque or something. I forget the period France setting. I really like. Some people aren't going to like that, and similarly, like the music, like, to me, it's spending too much time identifying this or relating to the setting, and not enough time relating to the characters and the story components. So those are the feelings on the story. In terms of like the the sort of the mechanics day to day, I think, like, having come from this, and maybe I can't remember if I did the Final Fantasy IX playthrough first or not with this, because it's been so long. When it comes to the combat, I think the combat is good. I really like the fact that it fixes so many of the issues I had specifically with Final Fantasy IX. Like, that slow, unresponsive, like, get on with it combat is nowhere near Clair Obscur. For a, like, from what I guess you would call a sort of a non strategy, like something like Three Houses sometimes gets called a strategy RPG because you end up moving that many units around the map, and it's a term that gets used. I don't know if I agree with it, but while I prefer the combat in Three Houses, I think Clair Obscur has got probably some of the most engaging combat in any game any RPG I've played. I absolutely adore the fact that you have to be most on the edge of your seat on the enemy turn. I think that's thematically great. I think it's, like, from a gameplay perspective, I think it's very involving. I'm not sure I like the extent to which it begins to matter. It feels like after a point that's more important than the RPG mechanics. And then this is what I kind of mean about like when things are going well for Clair Obscur, it feels great, and when things are going badly, you start to notice, but like you start to view a lot of the the other things in a different light. When it becomes quick time event the game, that's less good. But I generally like, and I think that I think that the way that your own skills are set up in those 2 pages, with the ability to sort of zip between different attack options quite quickly. I like that menu, that very specific in combat, your turn, select your attack menu, is quite quick. And I like that the combat feels quick. I think the combat has got a very good sense of, like, punch and of panache. I think that's good. I guess let me move the mic slightly further away. I guess that's okay. The leveling up system is a mess. And I'd include in that, because it feels like it's very much part of it, like the gear as well, it's a very joyless, it's just ill thought through in many places. Like the whole thing of will link weapon strength to certain attributes. It's just it just kind of turns it into to busy work. I mean, again, different people might play it a different way. I think the fact that, to me, you find early success with certain builds, our fire rotation we've had since Act 1, and there's never been a suggestion that anything else is going to come close to it. So it's like, that's, you know, that doesn't feel good. And as I've said before on with Clair Obscur, I think that like most people who are into RPGs are kind of, when it comes to their habits in game, they will tend to be conservative with the small c. And I think you really, like, if you get a new power, you kind of have to rebuild your entire party's mechanic, you know, your entire build for, like, I mean, certainly the combination, well, really the combination with the three of them, you have to sort of rebuild. I just don't think most people are going to go for that. The other thing as well with this, that like it's nice that the characters play differently. I think that's good. It kind of harks back to Final Fantasy VI. I think I like the synergies, although I don't know if the synergies don't cause more problems than they solve. I am surprised that the game doesn't make you use Monoko and Ciel more. Like, it feels like there's kind of a missed opportunity there. I can imagine a lot of people don't use those two characters. Like I you know, like Gus and Verso being the main character, Maelle being the absolute high damage dealer, and Lune being the healer, you know, slash, you know, mage type thing. It feels like Shell's kind of just sort of like stuck out there and could have done with more of those old Luminaire like moments where she's included into the party. So that was kind of strange. So yeah, I mean, what am I thinking in terms of the tier list? I don't have the tier list in front of me, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, Final Fantasy IX, we ended up putting in C tier. And it's just difficult because, like Clair Obscur has, like, it's annoyed me much less than Final Fantasy IX has. Much less. Like Final Fantasy IX boiled my fucking piss. But it boiled my piss on my second playthrough. Like, years and years after it came out. And when admittedly when I stopped playing the game, which is part of it, like, you I left that game on something of a high. Like, I felt like it earned a lot of goodwill for me at the end. And obviously the first time I played it, I really enjoyed it. I just don't think that Final Fantasy IX lends itself well to repeat playthroughs. With Clair Obscur, it's like, I've not been anywhere near as sort of angry with it, although I have been angry with it, but I've not been anywhere near as angry. but I'm just I just don't care. Like it which is in to me feels worse. So I don't think I don't think this is. I wouldn't put it in C tier. I think, well, at least I don't think I'm going to put it in C tier. I'll have to see the actual video. To me, it's D tier. It's it's okay. But like the way that a lot of people have been talking about it this year, of like this is the game of the year. It's like, obviously like what you like. And there's definitely, as with anything in my D tier, and maybe even some stuff in the E tier and lower, that doesn't, that's not me saying that this won't be somebody's favourite game. I just don't think it's like gonna be. I just don't think it's gonna live terribly long in the memory. To be honest, I just so yeah. I think for me, I'm looking at a D tier of this, and this will be the last episode. Unless I can't imagine any reason why it wouldn't be, unless maybe something will come up, but I wouldn't count on it. I would think this is there. What did you think of Clair Obscur? What do you think of the points that I'm sort of making on this? Do you disagree with them? Do you agree? Just tell me your thoughts. And once again, since we're doing at the end of this, this is for the record. I received this game for free. It was a gift from one of my subscribers. Thank you very much. You know who you are. I don't know. Maybe you prefer if I'd have said it, but the impression I get is that you'd rather stay anonymous. But if not, let me know, and I'll change the ending. Thank you very much for it. It has been an experience, and I think it's good and really, really healthy to have some more modern games on the channel and see where we are. And at least as well with Clair Obscur, I think I touched on this before, like the genre. Again, I'm calling it JRPG, FRPG, if you like. The genre's in a mess. Like the Final Fantasy games of like the last really 20 years have been a mess. That like Persona has, as much as I like Persona 4, or enjoy, because there's some bits about it that I desperately dislike, but like Persona's in a difficult spot because that game is totally iterative, and I really don't know how many where they go from there. I think that like Persona 5. I mean, most of my complaints with Persona 5 is just too bloated, long, and god awfully paced. But more to the point with those games, I don't know I don't know where they go. Like I think that you might have to call it at Persona 5, like, other than spin-offs. I mean, I think they have kind of spread out to other things with the similar thing. What's the Refantasio or something like that? Metaphor Refantasio, I think is the name, which I guess is where that goes, but it doesn't look like there's, it isn't. This is calling back to a relative heyday of JRPGs, which, as we've seen with Final Fantasy IX, don't necessarily hold up, but it was at the time they were, it was really seen to be like a sort of breakthrough period, going from I would say, like Final Fantasy VI to Final Fantasy X. It was a very successful period. And if you look at when, like, people say, like, and you search for, like, your best games on, like, the PlayStation, best games on PlayStation 2, it's like those games are coming up, and they were streets ahead of what came before. Another quick shout out to Final Fantasy VI, because I bang on about 7, and Final Fantasy VI is really good. Like, there was last Final Fantasy on the SNES, and what an achievement that was. I make no bones that I think 7 is better, but I mean, 7 was on the PlayStation. It had, like, 10 times, not more than 100 times the resources to play with, like, from a tech perspective. Final Fantasy VI did marvellous things with, like, a fraction of that, so it does, worthy of praise. But we're here to do Clair Obscur. What will the next things be on the channel? Well, this year we've done a low. Well, let's say this year. It's 2025 now. It'll be probably 2026 or later when you're viewing this. We've done quite a few RPGs this year. It's been a productive year for the channel is normally signs that it's been an extremely unproductive year for me. But it has been nothing if not a productive year for the channel. But we've spent a lot more time on, well, maybe not a lot more time, but it feels like we've done a disproportionate amount of time on more modern games. In terms of what to cover, I do want to sort of get back to our roots a little bit and cover more of the retro stuff, because I think that there's, that's the interesting part for me. I also just like, well, it's not this more the interesting part. They're both interesting in different ways, but honestly, just pragmatically, when I do the older games, people come and see because they're interested. There are 8 million different content creators playing Clair Obscur, and like the almost overwhelming majority who will have better recording quality and presentation than myself, and who will be more enthusiastic with it, which is normally, I think, what most people are looking for. Props to you if you're not. Props to you if you like watching me slate this thing. You're all right. So going back to roots would be nice. The other thing that I wouldn't mind doing is having a look at some games that are not RPGs but sit on the edges of the genre. I think like clear as day for me, like one of them is XCOM. Like XCOM 2, I wouldn't mind covering, firstly because I think that there's loads of lessons that XCOM teaches us about like designing systems, and I think that XCOM 2 particularly threads the needle. I've played the XCOM games since Terror from the Deep, which is like 95. Terror from the Deep was a problematic game at the time, and but I think that of the XCOMs, the original, no DLC, no War of the Chosen expansion, the original base game XCOM 2 is the one that probably threads the needle most best, and it's got lots to tell us about like randomness and system design, so I think that would be really useful to look at. It's also the simple reality of this is I've set out a channel to cover retro RPGs, almost all of which I've played previously anyway. There's only so much RPGs even the most ardent fan can play. Like, I did consider whether or not Nine Kings, which I love, Nine Kings is great, Nine Kings or Satisfactory would have been worth adding to the channel, just because it was nice to play them as a break. I can't really see the link. I don't see what it offers to the channel, but you tell me if you've got thoughts on that. If you'd like to see me tackle something different, then give me a shout. Leave a message in the comments. This then will almost certainly conclude Clair Obscur. We've been playing that, and now we're not anymore. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye bye bye.